The first thing to do is to print off your pattern and check the scale, make sure it's 5 centimeters or 1 inch. And then we only have to put together the front piece, so not very many this time. Usually my patterns are full of pieces, and it's A, B, C, which you put together in order. You also need to put together the handle, and that's basically it. 4 pieces: the back, the base, the handle, and the front. And of course, you've got for every one of those appliques a separate page, so you can only print off what you need when you need it. For all the designs, you've got 3 different pictures here: the kitty cat and the pumpkin and the bunny, and we've got a cross through the middle, and this cross is always right on the nose. So on the front piece of the pattern, you've got that very same cross, so that you can marry them both up and you know exactly what has to be placed where, especially since the cross is slightly to the top of the front piece and it's not slam bang in the middle. Then I would suggest that you use felt for this because it doesn't fray, and I would say that for something more durable you might want to use wool, but for something cheaper I would use the polyester or acrylic versions for this. You also need the Pellon under 805. It comes either on a roll or it comes in a little packet. It is actually a paper-backed fusible transfer web, that's what it's called, and it turns any fabric into a fusible fabric. First thing to do is to cut it out of your fabric. You can get it out of 12 inches, 30 centimeters of felt. I am actually using half a yard here, and then I've got some left to make more. For the back, you want to cut it out 3 times, so cut one out and then another one and another one. The handle I'm actually cutting out a little bit wider because this wasn't very firm felt, and so I can tuck in one side and that gives this a little bit more stability. The first thing to do is place your pattern back over the front, and then you want to mark where the base is going to go. You've got these little triangles, a snip will do as well, so you want to put those in. And we of course need to do the very same with the back. You've got 3 pieces, so I'm leaving them on top of each other to save myself a little bit of time. And I'm also going to snip that, so I know that's where my base is going to go. And the base is the circle, which of course also needs to be snipped all the way around. And it's important that you do that because actually the rim is slimmer than the base. And also one thing to point out again is that if you're using a bit of a flimsy felt, you may want to cut the base twice to give it more stability. You can also put an additional base in afterwards. I cut the same out again from my lining, and I mustn't forget to also mark the base and the front, of course. I've also stabilized the base here by putting another piece of felt on. And when you're sewing this on, make sure that you do it from the felt size so that the fabric can't push. That's just simply easier. All right, let's get started.